Yesterday, YouTube issued an official statement. They said, quote, and I think I need to sound more like, because I think YouTube thinks they're God. So let me. Tuesday was the safe harbor deadline for the U.S. presidential election, and enough states have certified their election results to determine a president-elect. I feel like that lion. Welcome to the island of misfit toys. Sorry. Anyway, so what they did is they issued this declaration yesterday saying that as of yesterday, the presidential election has been decided. And they are going to, quote, start removing any piece of content uploaded today or any time after that misleads people by alleging that widespread fraud or errors changed the outcome of the 2020 U.S. presidential election in line with our approach towards historical U.S. presidential elections. They're going to be we will remove videos claiming a presidential candidate won the election due to widespread software glitches or counting errors. We will begin enforcing this policy today, and we will ramp it up in weeks to come. As always, news coverage and commentary on these issues can remain on our site if there's sufficient education, documentation, scientific, or artistic content. Ooh. So in other words, what they're saying here, I think, is you can say that Donald Trump won the election. You just can't back it up with anything that says, there were software glitches or there was widespread corruption. Can't say that. You can just make an unsubstantiated charge saying he won. Okay, well, that'll be good for all of the thinking people that are out there. Who the hell do you think you are, Google? Oh, I know you are. Sorry, let me bow down. I forgot. You're the most powerful corporation in the history of all mankind. But besides that, who the hell do you think you are? How do I report now on the Supreme Court? Whether or not they're going to take the case from Texas, by the way. Several states now are in. We have Missouri, Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Montana, Nebraska, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Utah, and West Virginia. What are they doing? What are they standing up for? If I'm on Google, I want to be on YouTube, I guess I just have to say, Trump won, Supreme Court, states. They're trying to cut down, you see, on conspiracy theories. You don't kill conspiracy theories by shoving them into the basement. You can't stop conspiracy theories, especially when it's an out-of-control government that doesn't want you to know what's going on, by silencing people who say, I got this theory. You let people who have a theory go out and express it. How come you can go online? I can find my children have come to me and shown me videos. We didn't go to the moon. What do? Do I call Google? How dare you put that up there? No. I explained to my kids, I've seen the rockets launch. You want to go? Here's the evidence. Hey, you want to talk to one of the guys that actually walked on the moon? Because I know him. You want to talk to him? Because I do know him. We're in a special situation. But hey, let's Google men who walked on the moon. Let's let them talk to you via YouTube. It is un-American to silence any speech. As God is my witness, I have never asked for anybody to be silent. I have never said somebody needs to be pulled off the air. I have supported from Bill, what's his name, from Politically Incorrect, does the HBO, Bill Maher. I go from Bill Maher to crazy Alex Jones. I've supported both of them when people were trying to silence them. Both of them. You don't silence people. See, this is the problem. This is why America doesn't trust anyone. You know, I can go to YouTube right now and I could still find all the videos how Russia stole the 2016 election. I can still find that. Is that a problem, YouTube? Because you want to make sure everybody is on the up and up with the elections, the historic U.S. elections of the president. So why can I still find all the videos about how Russia stole the 2016 election? And by the way, I should be able to go find those things. I don't want you to pull those things. That's part of history. It shows how corrupt you are. It shows how corrupt the media is. And it shows how corrupt the Democrats have been. Don't remove them. How about the argument that Trump was rigging the post office so he could rig the election? Do you remember that one? Barack Obama said he's undermining the Postal Service in the run-up to the election. It's going to be dependent on mail-in votes. So people don't get sick. So now he's trying to screw the election. Quote, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Trump was out to sabotage the election through the Postal Service to disenfranchise voters. That's still online. Did he do that? By the way, I can still find Vanity Fair. I can just Google it right now. Just Google this. Headline, Trump, clearly I'm screwing with the post office to sabotage the election. I can find that. Oh, I can find all kinds of things. How Bush was behind 9/11. How George Bush actually went in with Dick Cheney. We wired the whole thing at night, you know. I can go online. We never went to the moon. Aliens built the pyramids, which actually might be true. I mean, now that we're thinking about it and with the recent light of what's been said by the Israeli space guy, I mean, it might be true. So that one, maybe we should get rid of that one. You're never going to know, and you cannot trust. Look, you are not supposed to ever trust government. Okay? How do we expect a school run by the government to teach one of the most important principles of American thought? Government is like fire. As long as you, the people, control it, it's fine. But the minute it gets out of control, it controls you. How are you going to get a public school paid for by the federal government to teach children that they shouldn't trust the federal government, that they should always question the government? Google and the internet is going to be dead. It will be a trap of true death and slavery if they start arbitrarily deciding what's true and what's not. I don't do that with any. Do you do that with anybody? Do you want your mayor to say, well, I got to tell you who wants to move into your neighborhood this week? You got this guy and this guy. Do you want them or not? No. And when you get to know your neighbors, you make the decision. They're creepy. They're hanging doll heads from the trees at Halloween. That's creepy. Kids don't play over there. I don't need the government to tell me, hey, your neighbors, stay away from them. They're creepy. Stay away from your neighbors. You know who they voted for? I decide that. You're not going to get the truth. It's impossible to get the truth. Impossible to get the truth. If they start telling you this is what's true according to us, and there will be no debate on it. By the way, do you think YouTube would be saying exactly the same thing if Joe Biden were contesting the election? That's an honest question. And anyone who says, yeah, I think they would, shut up, you imbecile. How are you going to know the truth? You know, did you hear the report from CNN yesterday? Hang on, I got to take a break. I'll show you. I'll show you how much truth you're going to get in a timely fashion if they begin to silence voices like yours, like mine, voices that are voices of dissent. All right, let me give you a CNN report yesterday. This was breaking news yesterday from CNN. It's going to come as a shock to you because maybe you voted for Joe Biden, and now they come out with this. It's shocking news.
President-elect Joe Biden's son, Hunter, announced that the U.S. attorney in Delaware has notified his lawyer that the U.S. attorney has investigated Hunter Biden's taxes.
Shut
CNN
up.
Senior Justice Correspondent Evan Perez joins me now on the phone.
What we know is that this is an investigation that goes back again to 2018 and has been looking at everything from taxes to potential violations of money laundering laws. And it has to do, Jake, with Hunter Biden's business activities in China.
In China?
Now, in particular, there was an episode that happened in 2017 where Hunter Biden had a meeting with a Chinese businessman by the name of Ye Jianming.
Who?
And at the end of that meeting, Hunter Biden goes back to his hotel room and he receives a 2.8 carat diamond from Ye. From
that
Mr.
doesn't
Ye.
sound
now,
good.
Hunter Biden gave an account of this entire episode to the New Yorker in a profile last year, and we're told, our sources tell us, Jake, that this is part of the investigation that the IRS Criminal Investigation Agency, the FBI, the Attorney's Office in Delaware, has been investigating.
Wow. And you know what's weird is the investigators in Delaware decided not to release this information until after the election. But now it's okay to come out. They've been investigating him since 2018. We told you that, but we were part of a conspiracy theory, remember? Facebook, the arbiter of truth. Welcome to the kingdom and the island of misfit toys. Those guys. Facebook, if I could remind you, announced that it would be suppressing the story pending review by its third-party fact-checking partners. Oh, I'll tell you about them in a minute. And they labeled the story misinformation. Twitter shut down all links to the New York Post, blocked the Post on its own account, suspended the accounts of people who tried to share the story. The Biden campaign would cite Twitter and Facebook's censorship as reason enough to treat the story as misinformation, and they did. Washington Post suggested the story was Russian disinformation. Really? The Washington Post? Russian disinformation? Oh. You mean like the Russian disinformation that Donald Trump was helping in 2016 when he worked together with Russia and was peeing all over the hookers in Moscow? Oh, by the way, you can still get on YouTube all the reports of the discredited Steele dossier. You can still get all that. The Washington Post reported that President Trump's personal lawyer, Rudolph Giuliani, was the target of an influence operation by Russian intelligence, and that's where this story came from. Wikipedia, the internet's go-to source for common knowledge, censored the story. CBS News said the story was about a laptop allegedly full of Hunter's old emails. And it's a story raising concerns about whether it's real or designed to sow confusion in the final weeks of the election. Oh, no, it was real. And we knew that. Did you see the internal memos that were going back and forth between Hunter's attorneys and the guy who had the laptop? Where they reached out and called and said, hey, we need the laptop back. And then saying... below is the email from Hunter Biden's lawyer contacting the source John Paul looking for the hard drive. looking for the hard drive. Hey, thanks for speaking with me tonight. As indicated, I'm the lawyer for Hunter Biden. I appreciate you reviewing your records on this matter as soon as possible. That came the night before the Post story. So how could, and we reached out and asked them, how could Hunter Biden's lawyer say that the computer didn't exist or were just Russian disinformation when he was asking for it back for Hunter the night before the story broke? By the way, you know that if you watch BlazeTV, because I think we're the only ones that reported that. We did a little bit of work. Now, of course, we're going to find out, and they are shocked by it. Of course, you didn't know about Hunter Biden if you were getting your news from mainstream media. You couldn't make an informed decision on who to elect as president of the United States. But you also have congressmen now that are sleeping away, getting some fang, and nobody seems to care in the mainstream media. Another story they did not report and will be buried.